Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and a lot of people have been asking me for some performance options when it comes to an SUV. Well, I am here at Subaru of Port Richey in sunny Florida, as you can see, and I have a very special high performance SUV. And one thing that makes it extra special is guess what? 2018 is the last year that this car behind me is available. I have a 2018 Forester, Subaru Forester XT. Now, what's interesting about the XT that you'll see in a little bit is that it's turbocharged. It has the same exact turbocharged engine that is in the WRX, a little bit different, which we'll get to that in a second. But you'll see that if you're looking for a car that has all-wheel drive and that turbocharged performance, this might fit the bill. And if you want it, you better get down now because these are going to be gone soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Forester. The Forester's been a mainstay in Subaru. I think Subaru was at the right place at the right time. Many years ago, the Forester was much smaller. And that was before the whole big SUV craze. And I really feel with Subaru's lineup, whether it's the Forester, the Outback, the Crosstrek, Subaru really is hitting the nail on the head at a perfect time because guess what? Especially us Americans, we want SUVs. And there was Subaru with their lineup in place. And what better yet, full all-wheel drive and that great safety ratings that they always have through the years. But anyways, I really, really like the front of the XT. The reason why is right here. These sides of the bumper, front bumper, and this front section right here where it's right in front of the radiator, I like the way this is different. This is an XT specific. So if you go by your standard Forester, it's going to have a different front end on it. So I like what Subaru did with making it different right from the bat, right at the start of the car, different from your standard Forester. So if you look here, you'll see that they put some nice fog lights down here. I like the chrome trim that they put. One thing I'm not the greatest fan of, but I understand why it's there, is this right here, this fake vent. Now it looks cool. I'm glad it's small because as many of you are aware, if you look at like a 2018 STI, the fake vent is huge. I like the way it's smaller and it actually works. And since this isn't like some super high performance, high performance SUV, I can live with that. I do like the headlights. I like the way they're adaptive. So when you turn the steering wheel, those lights are going to turn. I really, really like the direction that Subaru went with the grille. So you have some nice chrome finish around the grille. You have the traditional Subaru logo there, and you have some flat black around it with a little bit of piano black. So there's actually a lot of different surfaces here, but it all works. And then I'm really, some people I can see why they may not like this part here, but I think it gives it a more muscular stance. And I think that's going to make people, who are performance oriented want to go towards the XT because of that aggressive front end. Now, if you'll notice here, one thing I love about Subaru is that when you get an SUV from them, you're getting ground clearance. This thing is 8.6 inches worth of ground clearance. A lot of SUVs from a lot of other companies, they have SUVs, but all they really are these bloated cars because the front bumper comes down so low. So you can see how much space is down here with the XT, and I like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the side here. Now, if you have not had your eyes drawn to the paint job, this is a color called Venetian red. It's a metallic, darker red. I really like it, and you can see in this Florida sun, it really pops. It's really a favorite color of mine on the Forester. If you look at the wheels, you have these nicely styled wheels, brushed aluminum with some darker gray painted slots. Very easy. I can see this to be very easy to clean, very neat, very nice. I like it. It's not too atrocious. It's an 18-inch wheel, not some 19 or 20-inch wheel, so it's a nice touch. And you can see from the side here the ground clearance that I was telling you about. Now, some people, the greenhouse of the Forester, they actually prefer the greenhouse of an Outback. I kind of like it. I think it makes it more unique. You don't see a lot of SUVs with this kind of greenhouse styling. But if you look, you're going to get your standard roof racks. This one, if Tom, my camera guy, could show you, comes with a nice sunroof. So when you get an XT, you're already getting a nice fully loaded Forester. You can start with a base Forester and build it up, but this thing is all ready to go. I do like the way they have some different trim finishes here. Here's some more chrome trim from the front. Obviously, this is not real chrome. It's plastic, but it works. The flat black down here on the lower sill. I like the lines in the car. They're very, very, like I said, that very muscular look. I'm really liking the direction that they went in. Let's go ahead and take a look out back. Now, to wrap up the back end of the XT, I really do like this nice flat spoiler that they put up here. You have already security glass from the factory that's tinted. And then another thing I like is how the back end of the car with the tailgate, it's at a nice height so people could easily get things in. If you notice here, these things in the rear bumper, those are the sensors. You got proximity sensors around it. You're also, which I'm going to show you in a little bit when we go inside, has Subaru's patented eyesight technology that's going to keep you safe on the road as well. And if you look, I think one of my favorite touches of the back is the dual exit exhaust. It gives you that saying that, hey, this is something performance. Like I said, 250 horsepower out of a 2-liter direct injected turbocharged engine. And there it is at the end of the day, the symmetrical all-wheel drive. So you're going to get full all-wheel drive all the time. And we live in a day and age, guys, where even though this thing has all-wheel drive all the time, you're still getting great gas economy. So you're going to get those upper 20s, 26, 27, 28 miles of the gallon in the city in this car and have the safety. So outside is looking great. Let's go ahead and take a look at that 2-liter fuel-injected engine. All right, guys, so we're underneath the hood of this 2018 Forester XT. One thing that I missed from some of the other Forester XTs is there's no hood scoop on the top of this hood. I think that's something where Subaru really missed the mark. I would like to see a hood scoop on this, especially because this is the engine from the WRX, which obviously does have a hood scoop. So this is going to be your 2-liter. DIT stands for direct injection technology. There's your intercooler. It's a top mount intercooler. Remember, this is a flat 4. We call it a boxer motor because the pistons are going side to side, the 4 of them in there. Turbocharged, 250 horsepower. I like, some people, they don't like plastic covers. This cover works for me. It's helping to direct the air onto the intercooler. I like the way they prominently tell you that this is a direct injected engine, which is something extra special with that turbo. And I like the way that they brought in another Subaru logo, and it's kind of vented and it looks purposeful. So I'll go okay with that with Subaru. A lot of their engines with the direct injected, it's all top oil filter right here. Very easy to change your oil, to get that oil filter off right there. Everything else is routed very nicely under here. And you can see now this car doesn't have a hood scoop, but if Tom could show you here, they've done some really good engineering to actually get some air to come from the front of the nose and then get channeled down onto that intercooler. So technically, yes, there's a scoop, but I just wish it was open on the hood because it just gives it that saying that tells you, hey, I'm performance. Just like what they're doing down here, just takes it into the hood area. Let's go ahead and see what this 2-liter direct injected turbocharged engine sounds like. Let's check it out. All right, guys, I'm inside this 2018 Forester XT, and it's really a nice place to be. Check out the door panels. I really like what Subaru did. They put some nice perforated leather on the side of the door panel. You have a really nice leather cushion there with some beautiful stitching. Very, very classy. Even on the handle grip, you could see that there's leather there. Other than that, it's the standard plastic from Subaru. It's not soft touch, but hey, a lot of times your feet are going to be kicking up against that anyways. And I don't know if Tom could show you on the speaker cover, this does have the optional Harman Kardon unit in it, which is going to give you that better sound and whatnot. But not only is that door panel nice, but check out this seat. I really like the seats in the XT. They have a very nice look to it. I like the perforated in the leather. I like the stitching down the center. If I was to make a gripe, I would probably say I would like just a little bit more side bolstering, just a little bit more, just to kind of hold you in a little bit. But the back is very comfortable in here. It's a very commanding seating position. I don't know. I would be curious to drive this say 300, 400 miles and see how comfortable the seat bottom is. It's kind of flat. So we'll have to wait and see. But why don't you come inside and I'll show you the rest of it. Subaru does a really good job with bringing in some piano black finishing. Remember, Subaru for years had probably some of the weakest of the interior spaces, but they bring some nice piano black in. There's soft touch on the dash. It does get a little harder as you work your way down, but remember, that's not really where a lot of your attention is. Your attention is up here. If you notice, the XT has a very similar setup to the WRX and the WRX STI. That's our boost gauge. So since this is turbocharged, I step on the gas, you can see the boost gauge come into play. It tells you how many pounds of boost are coming out. And that's just something that if you are an enthusiast, that's information that's nice to have. It also has the dual climate control for you and your passenger. It's all up there, up top. One thing that I think Subaru really needs to up their game, and they are slowly, as they move their models to the global platform, they are getting a totally different center stack here. So this has the older Starlink system. It's not really the easiest to use or the quickest reacting, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. And for 2019, they are coming out with a totally redesigned Forester. And before you say, hey, I'm going to wait for the 2019, like I said, XT will not be part of the lineup. What they're going to do is Subaru, for some strange reason, is coming out with a sport model, and that's just going to be a naturally aspirated, so no turbocharger. The controls in a Subaru are like going to visit your parents. It's very easy to use, makes you feel like right at home. You know where everything is, so it's a very easy control. I like the space down that they have down here, the cubby space for cell phone and all that good stuff. What I would like to see is some type of USB. There is no USB port in here, which kind of blows my mind. There is something if you're going to plug in a radar detector, but there is not a USB. So that's something that I'm sure on the 2019 we're going to find. Now, let's stay focused down here. You have both heated seats for driver and passenger, and then the XT comes with what's known as X mode. X mode is another extra couple settings that you could do, and what it does is if you're in snow, mud, dirt, sand, this is going to help pull you out of those tough situations where normally the standard all-wheel drive might struggle a little bit. And this is something only available with certain models like the XT. And if Tom could show you back up here where the boost gauge was at, it tells you when you go into X mode, it shows you up here how it's all set up for you. And then once you shut it off, it goes right back to the boost gauge. So that is a nice touch. The rest of the dash setup is nice. I do like the steering wheel, standard round steering wheel. It has a nice leather to it. I like the cross stitching in the grayish color. Nice horn button. I do like this plastic silver trim. It almost looks like it's metal. All your controls are right here, very nicely set up. This is a heated steering wheel as well. That's what this little button down here is going to be. What I do like about it is not a bunch of arms sticking out. Everything is centered on the steering wheel besides obviously your turn signal and your windshield wiper. If Tom could show you the gauge display, you could see how the gauges are very easy to read in there, very simple to modulate and everything, and it gives you all the information that you need. Now, I personally would like to see a temperature gauge. Where is the temperature gauge? Not outside temperature, but temperature of the engine. I'd like to see an oil pressure gauge. I would like to see an oil temperature gauge. If you've been watching my videos, you know I've said this many a time before, especially if this car, I feel like the XT is more for that enthusiast who needs an SUV. I know there are people out there that can't just all get sporty, fun, fast cars that are small and tiny. Some of us have kids, some of us have things we got to carry, or some of us just like to be in a little larger vehicle, in a more commanding vehicle when it comes to view, that this is the option that you have. So I would like to have that information. This does have a frameless self-dimming mirror with the compass built into it. And then if you notice here, this is the Subaru EyeSight technology. So Subaru uses EyeSight technology so that you could have your lane assist and all that great stuff. That keeps you centered in the lane, will space you out from traffic that's in front of you. The great thing about this, if nobody has told you, is that you don't have to worry about mud covering this up. A lot of other cars, pretty much all of them, that have any type of lane keep assist or anything have the sensors lowered in the front bumper. if mud kicks up, if dirt kicks up, those sensors could be covered and that could hurt you at the end of the day. Now, yes, I do know I have subscribers up north where it snows and there's ice and all that kind of stuff. Hey, you can move down to Florida, but no, just kidding. You can stay up there. If you're going to go with this vehicle, yes, it could form on the windshield, but remember, this does have heated glass. So you're kind of good to go in that direction. But I really just like the layout of the car. If Tom could focus back where the shifter is, we do have some nice leather here on the boot. Some of the other touches are a little rubbery. I think you're going to see some differences in the 2019. I do like the way they take the perforated leather here on the sides and bring that into play. There's our nice cup holders, good size, good old-fashioned emergency brake. And then I really like this center armrest. Not only is it nice leather, but guess what? Subaru does make an armrest that's at arm height when you're driving. For some reason, on some of their other models, they're like down here. But as you can see, I'm going to open this up real easy. It's deep in there. There are our USB ports, and you have an auxiliary port in there as well. So this car, it's not like it's a no USB. It's just there's no USB up front in that front cubby where probably you're going to put your cell phone 9 out of 10 times. Because think about it. What's nice is they have grooves here. You can run the cord, but you are going to have the cord from here to here if that's where it's going to be sitting. But like I said, the last thing I think which is really nice about the XT is that it comes fully loaded with this beautiful sunroof up here. And I'm sure you can see that Florida sun is creating a lot of glare. So I'll go ahead and close the sunshade. But at the end of the day, very welcoming place. And I really think that if you want the turbocharged engine, you need to go and test drive one now while they're available. All right, guys. So I want to give a big, huge shout out to Spencer and Larry, the general manager here, and everybody at Port Richey, Subaru Port Richey. They do a wonderful job here. They know that my viewers have a lot of questions about Subarus, and you guys have been blowing up my inbox, so I'm very thankful for them to put this together. If you have any specific questions or comments, please leave them in that section. If these are the types of things you want to see on Raity's Rides, those SUVs that maybe push that performance a little bit, leave a comment in that comment section. If you have not hit subscribe yet, listen, we're at over 4,000 subscribers. They all can't be wrong. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my Instagram page and my all-new Raity's Rides Facebook page. Lots of interesting pictures I put out there, things that are coming out. I like to ask your opinion of colors of cars and makes of cars and things that you like. And if there's something specific you want to see on Raity's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. And like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.